You may have noticed a weird glowing lava lamp looking thing in the Decepticons headquarters from time to time. Well, it turns out it's a little more than that, as it's actually Giga and Mega's master.
And here's where I get a little confused. The subtitles refer to this thing as Devil Z. But if I'm hearing the audio correctly, his name is... Devil... Zed?
I am Lord Zed, Emperor of all I see.
Gah! This is surreal. Transformers is predicting the future of television. Again.
This is what separates the Autobots from the robot chickens. Ain't no one calling me a robot chicken.
So, Lord Zed, I guess, gets more angry at the Decepticons' failures. No better when Jinrai finds a trailer for his transector. Giga and Mega learn of the existence of 4 more Godmasters on Earth, and Jinrai in turn also finds 3 more sets of Master Braces in his transector. Jinrai then shows up and transforms live on TV, calling out for the other Godmasters, and everyone reacts with shock like they've never seen a Transformer before. How is that possible? For robots in disguise, they're actually quite bad at the whole disguise part, as the Transformers' existence has never at any point in G1 cartoon continuity been unknown by the world. Earth knows Transformers exists! It is not a secret! There's even an episode where Mega disguises herself as a fortune teller, telling the world about the Autobots trying to make them look evil, and everyone is shocked by their existence.
Not only is that the most blatant continuity error of the entire show, but it reminds us of Megatron's master plan. You know, the worst 2-parter of Season 2. Kendaya, how did you forget this was a sequel series? You wrote the season before it!
So after failing to destroy Jinrai for, the 5th time in a row, Giga and Mega unveil the only sentient Seacon, Turtler. And Turtler in turn reveals that these Seacons are a combiner team after all, as Turtler combines with 5 of the other Seacon drones to form King Poseidon. And in that very same episode, Jinrai discovers he can combine with his trailer to form Super Jinrai.
Combining with his trailer is a super mode for Jinrai? Ha! That was Optimus's default mode in the Marvel comics.
We spend the next few episodes as the Autobots and Decepticons search for the other Godmasters, who turn out to be Lightfoot, the heir to British Motors, basically Masterforce answer to BlackRock Industries from the Marvel comics, Ranger, Forest Ranger obviously, who again doesn't know what Transformers are, and Road King, a Formula 1 race car driver, who will drool over anything with boobs. And the fact that all of them join the Autobots doesn't impress Zed at all.
Oh, Lord Zed, give me another chance! I will not fail again!
Quiet! Those Power Rangers are nothing but mere infants! You were defeated by children! You dare call yourself an Empress of Evil? You are not fit to destroy a cockroach!
I have always said that, my lord!
You gold-bellied rat!
You have made me very angry!
It's during this Godmaster quest that another Decepticon arrives on Earth, Six Knight. Like Six Shot before him, Six Knight is a Six-Changer, and is a master of the Choke-On power of the heavens. So naturally, when a powerful, deadly Six-Changer shows up at the Decepticon base offering to join them, Giga and Mega just brush him aside, saying he's useless since he only has 1 Choke-On power as opposed to the Godmasters having all 3.
Oh, that's stupid! Really stupid.
However, Blood knows an opportunity when he sees one, and Six Knight on Jinrai. To even the odds in Six Knight's favor, Blood and Gilmer hold Minerva hostage so Jinrai won't fight back. But this doesn't satisfy Six Knight's need for a worthy opponent, and forces them to release her so he can fight Jinrai fairly. And of course, when the battle's over, Six Knight is completely shocked when he finds out Jinrai is actually human. And speaking of Six Knight, an important plot point happens in Autobot Warrior Six Knight. The Autobot Pretenders and Jinrai are playing cards when Metalhawk drops a bombshell.
Are humans command Autobots? Never!
Looks like forever is now, Commander.
Shut up, Ratchet!
No, really, I'm with Grimlock on this one. What makes Jinrai so qualified to be team leader? Things were working just fine under Metalhawk's watch. You have even less of a reason to put Jinrai in charge than when Cerebros was put in charge back in Headmasters. Is it because his transector looks like Optimus Prime? Well, that can't be because we're 20 episodes into the series, and no one has acknowledged this fact! Meanwhile, with the Headmasters, they're talking about how great the Godmasters are.
I'm detecting a pattern here.
When Six Knight shows up wanting to talk to Jinrai. He asks how he lost to a human because of how weak they are compared to Cybertronians, you and me both, pal, and the best answer Jinrai can come up with is that humans can continue fighting using their conviction and need to protect what they care about. Hate to break it to you, Jinrai, but Cybertronians can do that too. Even Six Knight calls him out on his bullshit. Oh, and there's also a subplot about Cancer getting doubts about being a Decepticon, so Mega starts acting motherly to him, giving him a mini-con named Browning, who transforms into a squirt gun. No, I'm not kidding. The Decepticon headmasters start attacking a city, and to prove he's not a Decepticon, Six Knight starts beating the crap out of them. Minerva tries to appeal to Cancer's good side, but he just shoves that all aside because he, like all the other Decepticon headmasters and godmasters, is a complete moron for wanting to be a Decepticon. Six Knight ultimately decides to join the Autobots because at least he was established to be honor-bound, unlike Six Shot, who was a murderous psychopath who pulled a sense of honor out of his ass at the last minute. Over the course of the next few filler episodes, more important plot points show up to advance the story. First up in Life Death, the Desperate Lightfoot, Hydra and Buster kidnapped Lightfoot's father, Leftfoot, and in exchange for saving his life, Leftfoot allows the Autobots to use British motors to aid them in their next important plot point. In the same episode, we meet Grand Maximus, who happens to be a pretender and a headmaster, not to mention a recolor of Fortress Maximus, as well as Fort Max's brother. Because every recolor absolutely has to be a sibling of the original toy, right, Magnus? Grant reveals the Decepticons in space are sending a superweapon to Earth, and to counter this, Grant unveils plans to create a new upgrade for Jinrai, the God Bomber, the purpose of which is so Jinrai can go into space and fight the superweapon.
Hey Grant, I think your brother's idiocy is rubbing off on you. You have a ship! Just have all the Autobots hop aboard and better their chances by having all of them fight the superweapon. Doi!
In the episode, Super Jinrai gets blown away in the desert, insert blowjob joke here, we see exactly why Jinrai shouldn't have been promoted to team leader. While the Pretenders are busy at work with the God Bomber, Jinrai gets a movie offer, which is an obvious trap by Hydra and Buster, but Jinrai is too stupid to realize it.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
As Jinrai fights the Toon Desert, Giga and Mega reveal to the other Decepticons that they are God Masters as well. They confront Jinrai in their Giga Tank and Mega Jet, but that's not the interesting part. This is...
Yoshi, Mega, gattai da!
了解
Transform! Gattai, Overlord!
Oh yes, Overlord, the unstoppable killing machine of Last Stand of the Wreckers, makes his first appearance here in Masterforce. Overlord unloads all of his firepower, beats the ever-loving crap out of Jinrai, with nothing, even in his super mode, able to make a dent on him. Oh, and this is hilariously intercut between Minerva worrying about Jinrai, with Shuta and Cap boasting Jinrai is invincible, right as he's getting beat to death. And again, because nobody remembers who Optimus Prime is, Overlord doesn't wait until Jinrai's body turns gray and just assumes he's dead. He's alive, but only just. Jinrai spends the next episode recovering in hospital, and only Road King bothers to point out that if Jinrai was that easily tricked, maybe he shouldn't be Autobot leader. Not that that really matters, since Metalhawk has still been around giving orders and acting like a proper leader. And given the Autobots are able to hold off a Decepticon attack at the factory where the God Bomber is being built, it's not a stretch to say they can handle things on their own without him. And so the God Bomber is finished in the episode, God Jinrai, Into the Sky.
Actually, he goes into space, which is a little higher than the sky.
Overlord arrives on the moon to greet the superweapon on its way to Earth, which Grand confirms for Metalhawk is something called Black Zarak.
Black Zarak? If it's who I think it is, I'm seriously gonna fucking lose it.
Metalhawk is still worried about Jinrai's chances about going alone, but Jinrai's ego has increased many folds, ignoring Metalhawk's warnings to be careful.
Yeah, God Jinrai Sue, maybe.
Jinrai fights Overlord, and he does a little better this time around with the God Bomber until the super weapon shows up and son of a fucking bitch, it is Scorponok! He was one of the worst things about Headmasters, taking over a war that had been going on for 9 million years for the survival of the Cybertronian race, and selfishly hijacked it so he can get revenge on one character, and not only spat on the graves of every character who died on both sides of the conflict, but also showed no interest in any other Cybertronian, betraying everyone around him, loyal or otherwise, and somehow the story seemed to imply he was the better villain than Galvatron.
Did you not learn your lesson last time, Kendaya? Scorponok is a petty, good-for-nothing Starscream wannabe!
God Jinrai, Showdown on the Moon, picks up right where we left off. Oh wait, no it doesn't, as nobody remembers Scorponok is the super weapon and acts like he just arrived. Even though the recap showed him arriving, transforming, and stabbing Jinrai with his spear. Jinrai does not do well against Overlord and Scorponok, the two Decepticons easily overpowering him. At least until Grand Maximus shows up. Okay, that was kind of funny. Things go a little better for the two Autobots as Overlord and Scorponok try to fly to Earth, with Jinrai and Grant able to knock Overlord back to the moon and blast Scorponok's head off. Yes! Scorponok is dead at last, and what the fuck? He's still alive? And leaving without his head? Wasn't the head the one that was actually sentient? Hello? Does anybody care about continuity anymore? Well, apparently the show does have some semblance of continuity after all. Remember when Giga and Mega said there were 4 more Godmasters out there, and there were only 3 found in the Godmaster quest? Well, the last one is found in Appearance, the final Godmaster. A man named Clouder, seriously, all the Godmasters so far have names that can't possibly be human names, observes some footage of the Autobots and Decepticons fighting, and uncovers a Godmaster transector of his own, as well as Autobot and Decepticon master braces. He decides to join the Decepticons because...
Yeah, I totally believe the Decepticons are the good guys when they do stuff like this.
However, Clouder does make use of his Autobot form, since his transector is a triple changer, to infiltrate the Autobot ranks on Giga's orders. He and the Headmasters trick the Autobots into thinking Clouder saved Minerva from cancer, and they welcome him into their ranks without hesitation. Clouder begins his sabotage almost right away in the episode Secret Orders, Destroy the Autobot Base. After sabotaging the base's barrier, placing explosives everywhere, acting completely suspicious, and found in places he shouldn't be, Jinrai and Minerva trust him completely. Metalhawk once again shows his leadership and judgment is superior to Jinrai's, following Clouder and catches him talking to the Decepticon headmasters. They manage to capture Clouder and restrain him inside the base, Jinrai feeling like the idiot he is for trusting Clouder. Hydra and Buster attack a nearby city to lure the Autobots out, and instead of just sending 1 or 2 Autobots to deal with them, all 4 Godmasters go, leaving only Metalhawk and the Headmasters to guard the base, despite knowing that the Decepticons are going to attack any minute, which is exactly what they do, as Overlord, the Headmasters, and an army of Decepticons attack when they leave.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
The episode ends rather well, actually, with the base falling down around them with explosions destroying familiar spots on the base, and the power going out, capping off with Overlord's base mode rolling towards them, complete with the show's first To Be Continued. And continue it does in Disaster! The Autobot base explodes. Spoiler? The base continues to fall apart around the Autobots, and Metalhawk even gets injured. And then, as the Decepticons start to swarm the base, Giga and Mega do something incredibly stupid. They contact Jinrai and let him know the base is under attack.
What was the point of having Hydra and Buster lure him away when you're just gonna tell him your evil plans?
Lightfoot manages to get inside the base to save Metalhawk and the Headmasters, while Jinrai fights Overlord outside. Of course, without the God Bomber, Jinrai is no match for Overlord, and Lightfoot gets himself surrounded by Decepticons, who at this point have abandoned Clouder to die as they destroy the base's generator, giving Lightfoot and the others only minutes to escape the explosion. Wait, if the generator has already been destroyed, then why would it explode? Minerva manages to save Clouder, and the Autobots head up to the top level just as Jinrai is forced to shoot the generator from outside, giving the God Bomber the chance to get the Autobots out of the base before the top level explodes. It's still a Decepticon victory, as the explosions reduce the base to rubble, though I'm glad Metalhawk survived. When he got caught in that explosion, I was afraid the show was going to kill him off, as if to punish me for correctly calling Metalhawk the rightful team leader. Shuta is especially sad since his father was the one who built the base for Metalhawk in the first place.
You know, Autobot City's been collecting dust since the end of Headmasters. I'm pretty sure you could just set up shop there. No? Fine.
Clouder feels terrible for what he did and decides to defect and join the Autobots. I don't think that double agent gimmick is going to work on the Decepticons, Clouder, but if you say so. So the show isn't going to punish me by killing off Metalhawk, but it's going to punish me in another way, as Devil Zed summons Scorponok back to Earth. Zed starts to plan the extinction of humanity in a few filler episodes, before Cancer's subplot continues in Will God Jinrai Save Cancer? As Overlord and Scorponok attack cities all over the world, Wilder and Bullhorn discuss Zed's contempt for humanity, to which Wilder replies,
俺たちは人間の魂をデストロンに売ってヘッドマスタージュニアになったんだぜ。生まれ故郷が灰になろうと。俺の知ったこっちゃねえや。
So of course the psychopath reveals Scorponok is on his way to destroy China, including Cancer's hometown, prompting Cancer to head to China to warn everyone. In robot mode, by running down the streets screaming like a maniac.
And he really thinks that he can evacuate all of the people in China using this method.
Cancer meets up with an old friend, Chan, who tells him that their old sensei died shortly after Cancer left their dojo to join the Decepticons, leaving Cancer distraught over his actions. Why did it take him this long? Scorponok starts to destroy the city, even shooting at Cancer when he gets in his way.
That's the Scorponok we all know and can't stand.
Cancer manages to save Chan from a burning building before it collapses on top of him. The Autobots show up and Jinrai and Minerva have to guilt Shuta and Cab into helping Minerva save Cancer. When the battle is over, Cancer asks Jinrai why he saved him? What? Minerva was the one who saved you. The title of this episode was a complete lie. That's right. Jinrai has become such a Mary Sue, he actually is getting credited for things other characters did.
You know what? With this episode and all the ones that have Super Jinrai or God Jinrai in the title, and all the Jinrai worship that's been going on since his first appearance, I think I'm going to start calling him Jinrai Sue.
Cancer's plot point continues in God Jinrai, Showdown at the Decepticon base.
That's now 9 episodes with his name shoehorned into the title. It looks like Scorponok sticking around isn't my only punishment.
Shuta and Clouder get captured by the Decepticons, and Overlord tells Jinrai Sue to come alone. Of course, the Decepticons attack multiple places at once, leaving him with no choice. Overlord takes advantage of Jinrai Sue and attacks him while he can't fight back as King Poseidon holds Shuta prisoner. Cancer finally has a change of heart and turns on the Combiner. With the location of the base known, and Clouder and Cancer now Autobots, Grand, the Headmasters, and the Gunmasters attack the Decepticon base in The Ultimate Combination, Black Zarak, the new life form. Man, these titles do not translate well into English at all. During the assault on the base, Devil Zed decides it's time to unveil his true form, and he possesses Scorponok's body instead. Oh, and even when possessed by an Eldritch abomination, Scorponok is still using the same stupid explosives tactic to blow up the Decepticon base, not caring that Wilder and Bullhorn are still in the caverns. This appalls even Overlord, though I'm pretty sure Scorponok would abandon Wilder and Bullhorn regardless. And of course, Jinrai Sue has to end up having to get them out of the base just as it explodes. Do you know how much more satisfying it would have been if Cancer had saved them? But no, we have to have Jinrai Sue be the bestest character ever and save them instead.